light is kind of annoying to me, but I like filming in the dark or whatever, and I want to know when this shuts off because I don't have much storage on my phone. Anyway, I'm not sure what I want to talk about. I feel like life has been getting increasingly better ever since the past 3.5 years, and I'm just not as lost as before, and I was pretty fucking lost. And I remember everything that I wanted to achieve just seemed so far away. Like it just seemed so impossible to achieve, and now every day it's like, oh, okay, well, I actually have like an idea now. I guess I can talk about why I am the way I am. It can always be traced back to childhood, you know. When I was a kid, I had a stepmom. I still do. Basically an evil stepmom, you know. Evil. That bitch always hated me. And when you're growing, basically you're popped out of the womb, you have no knowledge about anything. You have no knowledge, you don't know what the world is like. You know, like, you could be a baby and you're born into this 2026, or you could be born into, you know, 2,000 years in the future, or you could be born into, you know, 10,000 years ago. And obviously the genes are gonna be different. They're gonna be better adapted or evolved or whatever. But you have no knowledge when you're born, and so as soon as you're born, you start absorbing knowledge, so much knowledge. And the older you grow, the less knowledge you absorb. So there's this theory, I don't know by who, but it's something that I've been thinking about on my own, and it's that your brain, basically, you know, the younger you are, the more you learn, the more knowledge you absorb. And once you're an adult, you're absorbing very little knowledge. You're basically already built. It's gonna be very hard to change yourself. So as you're growing up, you're absorbing all of this, and you're going to learn a lot about the world just based on the people that are around you when you are a child. And you're gonna form these models, and these models of people, and the people that were closest to you, the most relevant in your life. Me personally, my brother, my dad, and my stepmom are like the primary models. They're the people that were so prevalent in my life that my brain just sees the world from the point of view of these three models. It learned a lot from these three models. And when you think about it, I look around my life and I'm just like, everything is about these three people. Everything will always be about these three people. And when you meet people, you can categorize them. Sometimes you can figure out that they represent these models. They will fall into categories. And basically, my stepmom was a model of moral authority, moral policing. She always made me feel like I was bad, you know, like there was something wrong with me. And she always had such like a moral high horse. Not necessarily moral, but like, yeah, like a moral high horse. It's like, she didn't paint herself as evil, she painted herself as right. And it was always like she was morally right or whatever. And so I spent a lot of my childhood logically arguing against the category she put me in. You know, she was always dressing me up as lazy, evil, disgusting, you know. She would always make faces at me, make me feel like I'm disgusting and evil and badly behaved and wrong, unloved, and I was constantly having to morally argue myself out of that. You know, I'm not evil, I'm not disgusting, I'm not wrong for this. With logic, because that's all I had. In my brain, it never made sense, any of the shit she tried to tell me about me. And so I was always, that was my defense. To be like, no, because this and this and this, connect the dots, and then you figure out this. So if this and this and that, right? So it was like a constant battle against her trying to put me into this box and me trying to argue myself out of that. And I did a lot of that when I was a kid. I had another time where an event happened in my life, and I felt disgusted and ashamed by myself for a couple of years. It was a depression when I was like 8 years old, and I had to argue myself out of that. And I don't remember if I successfully argued myself out of it. Eventually I stopped caring about it. I grew up, right? I suppose I argued myself out of it, I'm not sure. If I just sat in the depression and accepted it or whatever. And then the cycles just keep repeating themselves. The life you had as a kid is the life you're gonna have as an adult. It's the same shit. It's all your brain knows. It's what your brain learned. So when I was 15, it was the same shit. I crippled myself. Basically the voice of my stepmom just in my head, telling me that I should be ashamed, that I suck, that I'm worthless, that I'm evil or whatever. I don't really struggle with guilt, to be honest. And then it took me years of just crippling depression, but eventually at 17, I had a couple of realizations, and then one thing led to another, and I started to realize that this world is not what I thought it was. And I was able to use philosophy to get out of the depression. I feel like this is not interesting. Whatever, I want to talk, I guess. And now I'm fine, right? Now I'm perfectly fine, and I'm trying to figure shit out. And one thing I realized is that because I have this model of my stepmom, and everything that will ever hurt me in life will be something that fits in the category of my stepmom, something that represents my stepmom. Because again, these three models are my entire life. They're models. Everything that happens in your life, conflict, joy, stress, whatever, it will always be these three models, because that's all my brain knows. So it's just like a matter of, will I ever beat my stepmom in the end? Will I ever win? And I think I will have my answer when I finally dominate her, I guess. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't dominate her, you know, I haven't destroyed her, I haven't done what she did to me. I kind of just ignore her, but she doesn't affect me anymore. When she passes by and when she makes a face at me, when she yells at me, insults me, it doesn't hurt anymore. It's like, I don't really care. If anything, I'll feel a little stinge, but not really. It just doesn't affect me anymore. It's kind of like a joke now, honestly. I just don't perceive her as a threat. And I realized the other day that that's a huge significance of improving in life. When I finally beat my stepmom. And again, I don't dominate her, I literally just ignore her. I don't bother talking to her. And part of that is because there's an issue right now where she could really ruin some things for me if she wants. So that's why it's maybe a subject for another day, but she has power over me right now, in one sense because I'm trying to, whatever. I don't wanna mention it. But basically, if I don't bother her, I could bother her. Like, I could mess with her, but I'm not gonna because I need her to keep quiet for now. So yeah, kind of just ignore her. None of her shit bothers me anymore. It just seems kind of like childish, honestly. It's kind of like elementary school mean girl shit. It just seems kind of stupid. And it really signifies like a lot in my life. My life is not amazing, but it's not bad. I feel like I'm getting somewhere sometimes. Sometimes I feel stuck, but a lot of times I feel like it's fine. Maybe I'll be fine. And of course there are other models in my life. Basically those models that always made you feel protected or comfortable or happy or you admire them. Those are the kind of people you're gonna be chasing for the rest of your life. You're gonna try to find someone that reminds you, that fits into those models that you admired and you felt comfortable with. Why? Because again, this is how your brain learned to manage the world. There were these 3 people in my case who I just had to live with ever since I was born, basically. My dad, my brother, they were always there since I was born. My brain learned to navigate the world via these models, and also it learned how to live together with these people. So it really formed itself around these models. And so since my brain is so good at navigating my brother and my dad and my stepmom, I guess, it's gonna be seeking those people that match the personality or whatever for the rest of my life, because it already has the puzzle figured out. And so I realized that all of the people that nowadays currently I admire or I like, I want to be your friend, I want to be in a relationship with you, I have a crush on you, I want to hang out around you, I think you're cool, I think you're this. I realized that they fit into that model of these 2 people, because I know how to navigate those relationships perfectly. So I realized all these people that I know that I want something from, they all represent the same people. And I look at their personalities, I'm like, obviously they're all different, but like they had the core values or the core features of these people are features that match the original models. And I'm like, damn. And now I have all these people that I care about or that I'm interested in nowadays, and I'm like, I can fit them into the category. I can be like, okay, this person is my dad, this person is my brother, this person is a mix. I also have other models that are, I like to think of it as colors. There's the 5 primary colors, the 5 primary models, the most influential. In my case, it's only 3. And then there's a bunch of other colors that they kind of match the first models, but like they're kind of different. This can be like a best friend in middle school or a teacher you really liked or something. So I can like put these people into categories. I can be like, this person is this and that, this person is a hybrid, and this person is that, and this person is a little bit of this. And it's really interesting. And I realize that there really is a lot of fish in the sea, you know, like when I miss someone, I realize obviously this person is valuable to me, but really all I have to do is find someone else that matches the original models and I'm good to go. It's really amazing. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know if that's interesting at all. I've had this conversation a lot of times in my head, so to me I'm kind of bored of the subject, I guess. Whatever, I'm gonna upload this now.